Are you ready to level up your journey? Welcome to Get On Top, where we dive deep into the riveting tales of self-made entrepreneurs and corporate titans who have scaled the summit of success. Get ready for a roller coaster of insights, inspiration, and a roadmap to elevate both your mindset and your life. This is Get On Top with Morgan Browne. Hi, guys. Welcome to Get On Top.
Hi, thank you.
I
for
am
having
so
us.
lucky to have, oh my gosh, Tess Sloan and Alicia Adams. You guys, I know you guys personally, so
Yes.
this is actually more fun for me.
Yes.
And why I thought you guys can just really shine some massive light on what you guys are doing right now. But I really want to get to bare basics about who you guys are
Yeah.
and where you came from. And if you have not checked out all of their social feeds, please do so. But tell me, maybe we can start with you, Tess.
Okay.
Tell me your background story.
Oh my God.
Whole notes.
Yeah.
Give me like five
Okay,
steps.
so I'm born and raised in Melbourne, Australia.
Okay.
I moved to Vancouver in my early 20s, and next year will be my 20th year in Vancouver.
You gotta have a celebration.
Yes. And
Yes.
in that time, I have been living life to the fullest. Okay. I have found my career. I've worked for global brands. I've started my own business. I've fallen in love. I've got married. I've got divorced. I've had 2 beautiful children. I've had 2 amazing dogs. I have spent time on my own. I have recently got engaged again.
Congratulations.
I'm looking forward to the next 20 being really quiet. You know?
yeah. Like you're like you've gone through it all.
Yeah.
When did you decide to come to Vancouver? What was the
Yes.
main reason?
Yeah, so I was in university and I was really not clear about what I wanted to do when I finished. And so in Australia, they really encourage you to go abroad. So they make it really easy for you to get a 1-year visa anywhere in the world. And so my professors and my parents were like, you should probably go do that 1 year abroad and figure it out. And so I did that. And, you know, a week into being here, I found the recruiting industry and I've never looked back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That seems like
Yeah.
20 years. That's a
Yes.
landmark. You got to celebrate.
Yes, I'm going to.
It's
Yeah,
going
I'm
to be,
to.
I think, a big bash.
It's going to be a big bash, lots of speeches. I love
Yeah.
speeches. And I'm so grateful to have landed in Vancouver because it's been a really great city to grow up in as an adult,
yeah,
you know, and raise
definitely.
my family in and build a business in. Yeah.
When did you start your business? What year was that?
Yeah, it was 2015. So
Okay.
this year is our 10th year in business.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Insane.
Yeah.
And then Alicia, tell me about your story.
Yeah.
Background story.
Okay. I'm born and raised Vancouver-ish.
Yes.
So I kind of had, Tess loves this. I grew up in like
Yeah.
2 cities that were very different. So I lived in Aldergrove with my mom, which is out in the Fraser Valley.
Mhm.
And then my dad lived in West Van. So I kind of split my time, which gave me really good perspective. I had a little
2
country
different
life. I
spots.
had a little city life.
Yeah.
Right.
I rode horses out there, went to a really quiet school, and then I got to come in and kind of experience the city when I wasn't there. So that was like a really nice dichotomy. And then, after I graduated, I came into Vancouver and never left and started recruiting really early.
Okay.
Fell into it like everybody does. It's a low barrier to entry,
You're like,
and here
this
we
is it.
are.
Yes.
And been at it for almost 20 years. And same as Tess, worked at global companies, kind of developed my career before we stepped out on our own.
Wow.
And in that time, I've settled back in North Van. I have 2 sweet babies who are not babies. They're 4 and 8. And
that's
it.
me. You know what?
Yeah.
You guys have such an interesting perspective in the recruitment business in general. And I think it's because of your backgrounds. I think you guys have such a different take on the international side, but also the local side.
Yes.
You bring it back in every single time. I'm such a fan of your guys' both. And where did you guys meet each other? That's what I want to know. Now you guys are one of the most it was funny talking about this podcast and figuring out like how to who I want to bring on. And I was like, I only want to bring on partners that I really feel get it.
Right.
You know, that really understand it. Because I'm from a partnership.
Yeah.
I have a brokerage that I have partnership, and it doesn't work all the time for many of us.
Yes.
First of all, where did you guys
Yes.
meet?
Yes.
Yeah. Where did it?
Our meet cute.
Yeah.
So we met at ElevenEleven. So we were
Yes.
both working on the recruiting team there. So I was there, I think, a little bit before you.
Yes.
You came in maybe 6 months, a year after
Yeah.
me. We were both leading functions within the business. So I oversaw product recruitment. Tess oversaw support functions. So we worked together there. So we've always had some kind of working relationship
Yes.
with our personal relationship.
Yeah.
We went to Landmark together. So that was
Oh my
like
gosh.
that was
The
like
classic
a big
Landmark.
And we did that really early. I think it seems like it was like early when we
Yeah.
met. And for people that don't know, Landmark is a self-development course. They do not make you do it anymore.
Oh, they don't?
At
No.
Lulu.
They
cut it
No,
down.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, no,
No,
no,
Okay.
no. This is
Yeah.
like old school days.
It's pretty controversial. So
Yeah,
Yes.
it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
And so it's kind of one of those courses where you go and like pour your heart out, air your dirty laundry. So we did that together. Like right
it
off
really
the bat.
accelerated the friendship.
We
because it was,
did, yeah.
like, part of it is like, so what's your childhood trauma? And
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
like,
yeah. Like, look in the
Like,
mirror.
what?
We're like, oh, wow, okay, yeah.
You're like, okay, I
We're
can get down with
doing
that.
this, yeah. And then I'll see you on Monday morning.
So you guys knew each other.
We knew
Like,
each other.
knew each other
and
on
we
a
knew each
different
other
level.
very well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, when you work in a business that was in such high growth,
Yeah.
Yes.
it was like, it wasn't a trauma bond because it wasn't traumatic.
Small
but
T.
It
Small
was,
T, I call it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like we really went through something there
Mm.
in our careers, and I think there was also a lot going on in our lives. We were just there. Like Tess had just had a baby. I had
Wow.
just gotten married. Like it was just this really
Yes.
kind of pivotal point in our lives. And we-
Formative years.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
How did you guys connect? I mean, and talk about, you're 10 years into the business now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Where did you guys, at the very beginning, and I think there's a lot of listeners out there that know that this isn't like something they want to go alone as a lone ranger.
Yes.
They want to
yes.
go in with somebody else and
Yeah.
they want to go in deep.
Yeah.
And they're looking at their workshop, at their work right now, like
Yeah.
you guys did. Where did you guys see that spark and
Mm.
how can they recognize that?
Yeah. So we got along well. Like we led different teams.
Mhm.
So we were, in the same meetings together.
Mhm.
We were doing strategy together, and then we were kind of leading and executing on our own. And ElevenEleven, I remember the exact moment they had sent us to a conference in Boston on recruiting and HR, and it was meant to be like the most progressive conference in the world at that time. And we went there, and we were so uninspired. We were like, everything they're talking about, like we're on top of, we're doing,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Like these are not new things. And so we're having drinks that night somewhere, and Alicia's like, I think we could just do this on our own, Like Alicia had
Whoa.
always had the goal of being an entrepreneur. She grew up in a family of entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
That had never been something that I never envisioned for myself. I always thought I would have a big career. I was very ambitious, but I saw it in corporate. But I remember at that time I had 2 little kids, and I remember looking up to the women like in executive positions, and I remember just thinking, I don't want your life. Like I remember them being in the office till 8 p.m. and I just was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then she had kind of put that seed forward, and we literally on the back of a napkin like did
The
that.
back of the
Yeah.
napkin
Yeah.
partnership?
Yeah.
This is
Like
the best.
literally, yeah.
Literally.
It was, yeah.
And that was kind of the seed being planted.
Yes.
And then we ended up staying in our corporate jobs, for another 3 years.
Mhm.
And we started slowly building the business.
There was like a spark, but then an alignment, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you just like aligned, and was
came
it the
at it
right
from-
timing?
Yes.
And we had different goals, but the same vision, which was like, we want
yes.
to have like ownership of our time,
Yeah.
freedom. We want to be able to show up for our families, and we're both really ambitious, and we want to have big careers. How
Yeah.
do we do and balance both? And this is pre-COVID, where working remotely or working from home, that was not an option.
No.
Yeah.
That was not a thing.
Very like internal
Yeah.
office culture.
Yeah.
So
Heavy.
we had to kind of think about how we could do it. And I think, we always make a point of saying we built this business for 3 years and held our corporate jobs. Like we did not the next week dive all in and burn the boats.
No.
Mhm.
We did it slowly, intentionally. And, we would go home, put our kids to bed, and then get back online and
Yeah.
work for a few hours. We would like host events and start building the community.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the time was ready, like we had a number in our head of like, let's make this amount before we go all in. And then when that number, like I called Alicia and I was like, are you still down? We're at the number.
We're at the number now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
then we just walked in and resigned. And And then we stepped into a business that was already operating and profitable.
Right.
So I think that's important because a lot of people don't have the patience, or they think I can't do it because I can't quit and then not be making money tomorrow. So there is this like other way of like you can just build something slowly, quietly, behind the scenes.
That's
to also test it, right?
Yeah, test it. Yeah, everyone always says you should always have a viable product before you go out to it. So what you guys did is kind of did that.
Yeah.
You were like, there is a need.
Yeah. And I think it's another kind of important part of our origin story is that when we were writing on the back of a napkin in Boston, it wasn't for a recruitment agency.
Yes.
We were designing how we would put on a recruitment conference. So that's actually how we started kind of in business, I guess, together, was by putting on these talent acquisition conferences, and they grew and they scaled. And people kept saying to us, like, what are you? Can we hire you? Are you a business? And that's when we were also kind of like, do we need another recruitment agency?
We didn't want to be
in Vancouver. Yeah, it wasn't like we had this vision and we executed on it. And I think that's so important for entrepreneurs to hear because you kind of have to be open to the journey and where it takes you, right? Like it's not this linear line all the time where you're like, this is the business I want to have.
Yes.
Execute, and that's what it becomes. It's like it just kind of naturally progressed and we leaned into it and we're open to it.
And the community told us what they wanted
exactly
us to be. So we were like listening and being like, okay, so you want a recruiting agency and you want a fresh take on it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's similar to what you did with Oakwood, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, another real estate company or mortgage broker, but it's a fresh take on it.
Yes.
Right?
I think there's a lot to be said with entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We always are looking for something that's new.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's build a new, scrubby thing, like a scrubby brush. And it has to be something that you've created.
Yeah.
But really, it's actually about iteration.
Yes.
It's about taking what is there and iterating off of it. And then just keep on going. Keep on going. Keep on going. Keep on going. How did you guys, young entrepreneurs, like starting at a conference, bringing these people together, where did you see that need? Like, what was it that you really needed?
Well, I think we were at this conference. We had high expectations. It was being marketed as the most progressive conference, and it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And people around us thought we're eating it up. And we were like, wait, what? And we were like, could it be that we're more progressive than what's happening in Boston or New York? And so let's start and test it. So we held a conference. We did it really cheaply, scrappily.
Yes.
And it was in the basement of Kit and Ace headquarters at the time. And then they kept growing and kept growing and kept growing. And it was really cool because it started as this underground, all the recruiters in town. And recruiters are really, they don't collaborate. They're competitive, right? Like you have a black book, they have their black book.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Interesting.
And so, but it was the first time we said, let's all come together and let's open the black books and let's elevate each other. Let's share our best kept secrets and what we're doing.
And just really create a community.
Yeah, exactly.
There's really a strong community.
Yeah.
There's just never a time where people are not craving that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I even think that's something that a lot of people, the misconception about recruitment.
Yes.
You guys must get that a lot.
Of
what is
course.
the biggest misconception that our listeners are wondering about? Let's see if we can name it.
Recruiting agencies, used car salesmen.
Yes.
Okay.
People hate working with recruiters. We hated working with recruiters when we were in-house corporate recruiters. We hated working with agencies because they're
salesy, slimy.
Yeah, they're salesy. They're trying to push it at you so that they
trying to bring it together.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So we built our agency on a lot of those pain points of here's what we hated. So let's do it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And you feel like that recruitment, I think the biggest misconception of recruiters is that in general, I think they're trying to bridge the gap, but are they really doing it with purpose?
Right.
I feel that's where you guys got it. Really knowing you two and understand. There's so much purpose in what you guys are doing.
Yes.
There's so much integrity in what you're doing.
Yes.
Where did you learn that?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think there's a values piece that we had. And I think I give a lot of credit to ElevenEleven because we learned a lot around like Lululemon, we did landmark. It is controversial. There were parts that I loved. There were parts that I hated, and it was just like, I'm just going to leave this right here.
Yeah.
But it did form me in a sense that I really learned the concepts of integrity, accountability, how to be 100% accountable. That changed my life.
Yeah, definitely.
In every area of my life.
Who are you?
I'd never seen that modeled before, where something goes wrong on your team, you stand up and you said, this is 100% on me, and I'm going to figure out why, and I'm going to report back to you.
Yeah.
You know, like with that type of attitude.
Some safety there. Yeah. There's safety in that culture.
And there's no victim mindset, right?
No.
It's like you're not pointing you're never pointing fingers. You're saying, you're so solutions.
I'm owning it. Yes.
You're owning it, and you're really solutions focused, right? So with that, you can do anything. So I think there was a lot of good principles we learned there in a new way.
For sure. Yeah.
And it gave us like a common language, right? Of like, I'm accountable for this, or there was this big thing around clearing. Every meeting at Lululemon started with a clearing. And it would be like, what are you holding on to that's going to get in the way? And sometimes people would be like, executives would be like, yeah, I had a conversation with you yesterday and it did not land well. Like I've been thinking about it all night and I don't want to work with you today. And then they would just have to clear it in the moment. And it's like, you're just sitting there like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But then it's cleared and work can get done.
Yes.
Right?
But also like, we all have children.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of like a healthy conversation instead of a fight.
Yeah.
I think we're all raised like, if you don't want to kind of fight with somebody, you don't want to look like you're getting anger or you're aggressive, because that's really not what our language was.
Yes.
And now it's like there's a healthy way of getting through it and making a solution behind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's what you guys are learning in that principle you brought into your company, and I guess your partnership.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So
oh my God.
working together.
Yeah.
Oh my God. First of all, I have so many questions about that.
Everyone does.
I feel like
yes. Shoot.
Where should I start?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to know what your non-negotiables are in your partnership.
Yeah.
Like, we see these TikToks right now. It's like my non-negotiables with, I'm like, I want to know what it's like in your partnership.
Yeah.
Like who does what?
Okay.
What is the
How
thing?
we split the business.
How you guys, you have to, right?
Yes.
At that point to make it work.
Totally do.
So
and
what does it look like?
Yeah, we did this work early on, and it really hasn't shifted that much, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But we just kind of stepped away, pulled away, look at where our strengths were, what we enjoyed doing, and really divided up the pillars in our business. So, and there's some shared ones as well, but I guess each one of us leads a certain area.
Perfect.
So Tess oversees marketing and social. I oversee operations and finance. And so anything within those pillars, we truly own the decision-making on it, but we rely so heavily on the other person for their input and their direction and their buy-in. Like we were discussing this before we came on, and I was like, I can't think of a time where we both like really dug in our heels because we let the other person lead where their strengths lie.
Strong,
yes.
Right? Like we both work on business development every day, but
beautiful.
Alicia owns a pillar. So every quarter, she's the one that's like driving the conversation. Here's the strategy for this quarter. I align with that. I give feedback, and then we move forward. So I own brand and social, and I'll say, in January, I think we should do this activation. And she'll always give feedback or comment, and it's never not elevated the conversation.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, like if a newsletter doesn't go out, that's on me 100% because I own brand social marketing.
Right.
There's no confusion there, right?
No.
Like I'll never be like, well, why didn't you do it? I could never.
How important is that for your guys' partnership to have that distinction between you two?
I think we got lucky that our strengths are opposite each other. Like if we do so much on social and you would think she's a pro on social.
She's a pro.
Oh my God.
I watch you.
No.
You would think she's a pro. Anyone would think she's a pro. 5 minutes before whatever she posts, she's like, what do I say? How do I say it? And I'm like,
I don't want to do this. Don't make me do this.
I'm like, just say this and use this angle. Or I'm always thinking about marketing brand.
Yes.
And I will find things all the time and I'll send them to Alicia. I'm like, this would be perfect for you, or this like is so authentic to you, like you should talk about this, like, but she would never like come up with it. In the same vein, like when we're going through our profit and loss statements at the end of the quarter, I'm like, okay, but what does that mean? She's like, okay, so the profit is
this is how much we're making.
And I'm like, okay, got it.
You're like, but how much are you putting in my account at the end of this month?
Yeah, so how much is
Let's
how
get
much
down
you
to
need.
a lot of
that dumped in it.
But
Exactly.
we have a big philosophy. It's not about who has the idea, it's about who has the best idea.
Yeah.
And,
Love that.
I think when you're having that like significant, brain power, to be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
Yes.
you have to be able to allow people to put their 2 cents in,
Yes.
and we're huge. I mean, disagreements happen.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and if
Of
it didn't,
Yes.
then that's actually, you're not actually doing enough work.
Yeah.
You have to
Or
push
somebody
it.
doesn't feel safe. Or
Yeah.
Don't
somebody's
feel
like
safe.
people pleasing, and there's not much you can do in that,
Yeah.
No.
area.
What do you
right?
do for those disagreements? For someone
Yeah.
that's coming into a
Mm.
partnership, they're maybe in year 3. I'm going to say year 3 because that's when it all happened for me.
Yeah.
Where there's strong opinions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to have like the tidbits, is what you guys just said, pillars,
Yeah.
but like real things about vision,
yes.
Yeah.
about like philosophies,
Yes.
about the direction of your company.
Yeah.
How do you
Right.
guys get to that stage where you're like,
I'll
Okay.
give you we always talk about it and check in on it. We have an ideal number that we want to get to in revenue, and that we both are really excited about. So
Mhm.
we're quite aligned in that. Okay. So I think from like a values perspective, we do not want to have 20 employees. Like
No.
we don't.
Mhm.
We scaled once to like 16 employees and
Yeah.
we hated it.
Yeah.
We hated
Mm.
every day. And I guess luckily the economy turned and we had to scale
The universe
down.
guided us.
Yeah,
that's what I
back.
think.
We had to scale
Yes.
down, and then we were both like, okay, we love this. Like,
Yeah.
we can make the
Mhm.
money we want to make. We have a small and mighty team. Let's keep it intentionally
Yes.
like this, okay?
Mhm.
So I think we have a rule around like, if somebody, like, we are in a marriage, like, there's no mistakes.
I know
about it,
this about
okay?
you.
Like,
Yeah.
we are,
And all of it.
I thought you were gonna say it's the same for us. It's just
Yeah.
like, no, I know for you too.
like, we are in a marriage.
You
We are
buy
friends.
you
Yes.
buy things
We
together.
We have
do.
properties
Yes,
you do know
together.
that,
yeah.
We own
You
real
know?
estate together. We own bank accounts together, multiple
Yes.
bank accounts.
Yes.
We own social media accounts together. right?
Yes.
Like we own.
That's like the top.
Yeah.
yeah. We own
Yeah.
businesses together, right?
Yes.
Like it is like incredibly intertwined.
Yes.
And so like there have been years where we've worked with business coaches and like we would call that like, oh, we've got couples counseling, like, like when because
So
that's
true.
kind
Yeah.
of what it's like. It's
Yeah,
so
it
true,
is.
right? I think we set up a rule early on and kind of a kick back to our Lululemon days. If I piss you off or if you piss me off,
Yeah.
or if I say something you don't resonate with, vice versa, you have 24 hours to clear it. Literally, the
It's like
clock is
24
ticking.
hours.
Yeah.
And it's horrible sometimes.
I
'cause
kind
she'll-
of love that.
yeah, you
Yes.
have 24 hours to like bring
Just
it
a
up so we
time
can have
line.
a
Yes.
conversation. And Alicia always says this, like, I never want you to build resentment about something. Like she was
Mhm.
always really,
Mm.
I remember in the early days, she's
Yeah.
like, you have to say it because I can't, like little things like add on top of each other, right?
Yeah.
Like if
Mhm.
you're not like clearing them out. And I'm kind of from like the time of like, you just like bury it deep inside and you don't
Yes.
say anything, you just get on with things. But we both had to learn at different times. Like,
It's horrible.
I know you love me. I love you, but this hurt. Like,
Yeah.
and I actually felt like I wasn't heard in this time, or this didn't
Mhm.
feel good when you said this in front of the team, or what did you mean by that? Because it kind of hit me in a bad spot.
Yeah.
and
It doesn't
I might
feel
be being
good.
sensitive and like,
Yeah.
we both have that. Like, I think as we like grow personally and like
Mhm.
learn ourselves better,
Mm-hmm.
it's like easier to come to those things and
Yeah.
be like, I know I'm a sensitive gal, but like, did you mean this?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know,
And we know each other so
Yeah.
well. Like I know if something's off with her, and like
Oh my
0.5.
gosh.
So you hate
Oh
it.
my
You're
gosh.
I
like,
do hate it. I do.
I
hate
can
it.
just
you
tell
get
by
that.
looking
You
at
feel
her.
it.
Like I
'Cause
know
then
her
I know
man.
the clock is on and I've got 24
Yes.
hours. Like
I will call her on it because we
Yeah.
just can't have
Yeah,
that.
she,
like,
No.
before she gets off show, she'd be like, "You have 24 hours, by the way." And I'll be like, "Fuck me, I don't want to
Yeah,
bring this up. This is
24
hard."
hours.
yes.
I think that's so smart though. Like being able to say, okay, our intentions are the same.
Yes.
It's not like one of us is off. It's you're
Yes.
feeling something.
Yes.
Like people, in business, they don't, I think a lot of people forget that this whole
Yeah.
thing, we are still human beings in the end of
Yes.
it.
Oh my god.
We're humans.
And that's just it. It's the intention, like going
Mhm.
back to what you were saying about like having integrity or aligning on values and
Mhm.
stuff. It's just like if we have different opinions or there's a disagreement, I always know that Tess's
Yes.
intention is good. Like I
Yes.
never doubt her values, her integrity, or how she's treating me. I never think she's coming from a bad place or she's intentionally trying to
Get at you.
get at me or
You don't
hurt
want
me. Like
that.
never.
No.
And I think we're lucky, honestly.
We
like,
are.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
so
you guys
grateful.
have found the yin to the yang.
Well,
Yes.
you
You
know
know?
what? You'll like this. I'm an Aquarius. She's a Leo. Those
You know
are
me, I love
they're
this.
opposing signs.
Yeah,
Like,
see?
when it's a full moon in Aquarius, it's like we're in Leo. Like
I know.
they're direct opposing signs. So our strengths will really reflect that, and our way to like, even like our interpersonal strengths, like we can get there quickly together. You know.
How
Like,
do you guys add to that pot? Because you
Yeah.
bring new people on. I know I've been watching you guys just bring things not only in Vancouver, not in Canada, but also to the
Yes.
States and also to Australia. Like you've hit a lot of these incredible clientele groups.
Yeah.
It's been hard and it's been easy and it's been hard. And I think a recruiting agency doesn't want to ever say recruiting is hard. Like, like
It's hard.
even for our own business.
Yes.
It's like such a like recipe, and especially in a small business where there's nowhere to hide and we have two co-founders, like it is a really difficult like recipe to master. And I think it works best for us having a really small team because although we're on social all the time, we are both like so introverted. Like being in front of like a big group all the time is such an energy drain for us. It doesn't like give the best of us. Like having a small intimate group is always where we do the best
work.
Yes.
The best work.
The best work. And we've also always been so clear since the beginning. And I think this is a really important conversation for co-founders to have.
Yeah.
If you're ever going to get to a point where you might bring in another partner.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like you want to be on the same page
that's
there.
to us, like a few times people have wanted to join as a third co-founder.
Yeah.
And we said at the start, we'll not do that.
Yeah. You know who your people are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's very important. We're very similar. We're kind of tight-lipped with our team because we align on something a little differently. I think you want to bring different people like staff and executives and people into the group if you can, and there's placement for it. But really, I think the founders have it from like they've watched the baby grow.
Yes.
They're not coming into the teenage years and it's all of a sudden a whole thing.
Yeah.
Also, with what you guys are, I think a big question that a lot of people, the listeners are going to have is you guys work with people from all over the world, different companies, right? How have you seen in other businesses their practices are in recruitment? Is it different? Do you see a difference or is it similar to in Vancouver, Canada, Toronto?
Oh, I see.
Do you know what I mean? Does it have does it look like the same process?
Yeah, I think there are some more industries versus countries that embrace more AI or more technology in their hiring practice. There are some that like outsource everything and just only want to work with executive search recruiters like ourselves. They want to keep it separate and, they see there's less bias that way and they want to bring in like really select headhunted talent from their competitors or targeted search, I should say. And then there are some that are more like grassroots that, want to hire friends or people they know. And then they get to a stage of growth where they have to like bring in a HR person that does it. So it's quite similar. And I think tech now or AI is the biggest differentiator.
Yeah, this is a huge topic, AI.
Yeah.
I was having our dinner I had a dinner the other night. And it was, everyone asked me, they're like, how do these people even, like there's so many job candidates that are currently hunting right now. It's actually one of the hardest economic times right now.
Yeah.
Are you seeing, how do these people, let's just say the listener is looking for an executive position.
Yeah.
What are you seeing in how they're putting everything out, not only in their applications, but is AI really driving that? And how do you pick through all these people? Like, this is what I'm wondering.
Yes. Yeah, it's so interesting. A couple things come to mind. Like, I think AI technology is can be such a huge support for somebody in their job search, right? It can help you refine your resume, your LinkedIn. But where we're seeing a big misstep is when people solely rely on that type of technology and are not adding a personal element to it, are not going back and customizing or really highlighting their like unique factors in those elements, how they're showcasing themselves. Like that's where I think people trip up when you're putting mass applications out. They're generic. You've used ChatGPT. Like, I don't know if people realize, but if Tess says, into ChatGPT, create a resume for me, it's probably going to look pretty similar to mine, right? Like you can tell when when someone hasn't put the effort.
And they put the work in,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
I think there's this like connotation that if you're using AI, you don't have to put the effort in, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. I think it can elevate, but you still have to refine.
Okay.
I've also seen where we've reached out to candidates that have gotten in touch with us or gotten in touch with a client saying they're interested, and it was some kind of like AI bot that applies for them, and they didn't even know they had applied to the role. Right? So I think there's these things that it's like, yes, it can totally be a support in your process, but it needs to be a pillar in your like search process. It can't be that you solely rely on AI technology to do your job search for you, right?
So Alicia, tell me, if for the people that are looking to do this, what tips would you give them? Like other than just like purpose, like what stands out to these recruiters, like that actually you're like, whoa, this person is someone, like how is this person even on the not even on the job market right now?
So someone who's applying, how they can get noticed. Well, Tess kind of alluded to this earlier, but doing an application to a job, like putting it in an inbox, is step one of many, right? That's another kind of common misstep we see. You have to find some kind of personal connection at the company, which I think can be really intimidating. But that's what LinkedIn is for. That is what your network is for, right? And you kind of have to go out on a limb a little bit, be a little bit uncomfortable, ask your roommate's sister, who worked there 5 years ago,
so true.
Do you still have the contact of the HR person, or you reach out to the hiring manager on LinkedIn. There needs to be some kind of touch point so that you can stand out. And it doesn't have to be like, you don't need to put together a PowerPoint presentation. It can just be a gentle message, nudge, I've applied. This is how I'm qualified. Like that will make our lives so much easier if you just immediately draw the symmetry between your background and the job that you've applied for. So kind of outlining how you're technically qualified for the role.
Great.
And then the third thing I think people need to do is really highlight why they're interested in that particular company.
Perfect.
Right? Like, so it's not just like this, like, I need a job. I've blasted 20 people on LinkedIn. It's like, here's what I love about your culture or your stage of growth or your leadership. Let's chat.
Those are some serious golden nuggets. I love that because I think people are so afraid to kind of put themselves out there right now.
Yes.
It's weird. We're in this like social media culture. But if anything, I think we've become more, adverse to do that. Like to put themselves out in a more physical, like a more intentional way. Right. I even think today on the way here, I was like, this is a lot. Even just starting a podcast. It's like I'm putting it all out. And I was like, having this like moment of sage and like my crystals and all this. You guys, I'm very holistic that way. And I'm like taking deep breaths. But I'm like, if you don't take those little steps, get into that fear position, that's where change happens. Like real change happens, right? And what you're saying is like, put yourself out there, make the connection, like express why you're doing it and why you're going to make a big change into it. Are you finding that a lot of those applicants, and also on the other side, I think there's company owners that are listening to this, they're looking to hire recruiters. What should they be asking? What should they be looking for that's outside of their company, that where they can really hire a recruitment team? And why is it an advantage for them to do that?
Yeah, so I think, with the AI conversation with Alicia, I think the other side of that is if you're an executive, like director level and above, and you're currently working and you want to know like what's my next move, or you're thinking about that, you're not applying to jobs. That is a really dangerous thing to do, right? You're not using AI, but what you are doing and what you should be doing is connecting with recruiting agencies.
Great.
Right? So that's the black book that we have, right? That's our database. That's the value. So companies who are hiring, we work with a lot of companies around 40 to 50 million or 300 million plus, okay? But the 40 to 50s are interesting. They've passed the startup phase. They're at now 30 to 40 people, and they now need to start looking at their competitors that are doing better than them and bringing that talent on. That's where we come in, because we have the list.
The list
of your competitors.
Oh my God, I want to see this list.
But most importantly, and I think most, like, our philosophy is we know who's who at each company, and we know what they would want to leave for. Okay.
Oh, yes.
And it's not just money. Okay.
No.
And it is purpose. And it is like, we just made a move where for a company that is in sustainability, and they have a big goal to be 100% life cycle managed by 2026. And this individual, that is their passion outside of work, right? And they were not in that type of environment. So when we got that opportunity, it was a quick call and a move. And that company, like, no job was posted.
Wow.
No other applicants applied, but that's the value, right? So we can make that move happen, and that will then directly impact your results and your business and get you to that next stage in revenue.
Is that an instinct?
What do you mean?
Like, do you guys feel like, as recruiters, like, I think there's another misconception. Like, you're connectors, right? You're connecting people.
Totally.
Yeah.
Is there like an instinct that comes with that? Is that like
I think there's an
intuition,
right?
Yes.
But it's like some recruiting agencies are doing it for revenue. Like look at our name. It's 1111. Okay, so those numbers. When you see those numbers,
I see 1111 a lot. Just so you know,
they're
that's
such
like my spirit
synchronistic set of numbers. And what it means when you see it is that you're on the right track. And so what we intend to do is put people on their path, right? On their like most purposeful path, right? And so what we're doing is not just to like make a quick buck. It's like we really take the time to understand like what would make you make a move. Like, what would your next opportunity look like? We work with really talented executives that literally impact the bottom line, right? Like, take a company from here to here, right? And so we really take the time to understand that, and then we go and find that role for that.
You find it.
Yeah.
Or we get the call and we know exactly who to call. You know?
Wow.
Like,
like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are listening right now that are really stuck in that executive position.
yes.
They're stuck.
Yeah.
And they know there's something else out there for them, but they know that this is really kind of consistent.
Yes.
Like, what is your, maybe they're ready for a change. Maybe they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
What's one maybe practical first step that they can take? Is it to reach out to a recruitment company?
Yes.
Just call up 1111,
Call
the bat phone,
or reach out to a reputable executive search firm, right?
Okay.
One that's not going to peddle you out. Like, one's going to handle you highly confidentially, really respect that you're currently working and performing, and that will only call you when they find that like golden nugget, and they're going to take the time to really understand what would that be for you, right? Like, for some people, it's like, I don't want to commute 45 minutes every day. Like, I need to be, it could be as simple as that. For some people, of course, it's compensation. For some people, it's purpose. It's like, I'd love to be with a company who's trying to take this on. Or, we've been doing some work with Van City this year, and they're really, really so dedicated to reconciliation with our Indigenous communities.
Yes, they are.
It is reflected at the executive level of their business. Like, it was really eye-opening to see how deeply this runs through the business. And we would then go out and find people who are extremely passionate about that too, right?
Wow.
So it becomes less about the job description, but more about aligning,
what their main purpose and purpose.
Yeah.
And that, we believe, can change someone's life,
Yes.
right? Like, when you're doing
It can
work
change
you
somebody's
love,
life.
Yeah.
Yes.
and that also impacts positively like our communities,
Yeah.
right? Like,
And that is such a differentiator. I think, going back to our conversation about recruitment agencies and the connotation or misconception, certainly with with us is that, I think a lot of recruiters are simply putting a bum in a seat, right? Or
Yes.
traditionally, that's what people think of for agencies.
Mhm.
But for us, it's so much more. That would not get us up in the morning. You were just saying to me that you ran into somebody who you placed
Yeah.
years
14
ago.
years ago,
And
and they're
you're-
still there.
they're
and
Oh
still
my
there.
God, isn't that amazing?
Like, how
Yeah.
good does that feel?
feels so
It
good.
feels
Feels good.
so
That's how I feel about a
good.
house.
Yes, to
But
play a
and
small
like,
part
place
in
them
someone's
there.
journey.
It's the best.
But
Yes.
for
Yeah.
them, like, you stand out as somebody who like was the connector who brought it all together, right? And it's such an important
It is
part in their life.
I think
Yeah.
it's a point
it's
of
an honor.
service, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I think it's like the connector is in one thing, but it's like to serve that it just feels
Yes,
good.
Yeah.
it does.
just feels
It
good.
does.
It feels like, and I'm like, yes, I feel like,
Yes.
and they're in the right place, and
Yeah.
they're meant to be there, and
Yes.
And
they're
then they're
safe.
happier, like when they
Yeah.
come home to their families, and
Yes.
they're happier. Like that
Yes.
is a game changer.
It's a game changer. It's a game, and
Yes.
it's even
Yeah.
just energy. I mean, that's a big part of
Yes.
it for you guys.
Yes.
You guys you play such a significant role in hiring these executors.
Mm.
And obviously you get to meet a lot of these leaders,
Yes.
right? I think a lot of the audience and people want to hear what makes them stand out as leaders. Like, what are the traits that you guys see that are actually similar
Yeah.
in all? Because you guys are you're one of the key people that actually gets to meet them all.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you say? What are the 3 traits that they have?
Oh my God.
3 or 4
Okay.
traits.
Like I'll give a couple that
Yeah.
like the first 2 that come to mind are like obviously results. Okay.
Yes.
Like we get deep into results and
Yes.
like, I mean, from what was the business when you started, Q1, Q2,
Yeah.
Q3, Q4.
Wow.
How did your role directly impact that? Like we want to speak to those numbers.
Mhm.
The second thing, and I think this is actually the most important thing right now, is very overused term EQ. But we
Yeah.
need leaders
Yeah.
now that are highly emotionally intelligent.
It's funny because it used to never be like that.
No,
And now
it
it's
did
like
not.
the
Yeah.
opposite.
Like
Yeah.
you could the CEO could stand in the boardroom and yell at everybody and like, like,
Yeah, I know.
and now it's like, we want that like calm, steady leader. We want that
Mm.
person who is empathetic, who is, we're working with some companies right now and they're bringing in some partners of ours to lead an executive, like roundtable on menopause.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, the CEO brought this in because
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, we have women executives and we need to start talking
Yeah.
about this. Like,
Mhm, mhm.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right? Like
it's powerful.
that would not have happened,
So
and we were like,
yes.
can we come?
Can we come to
Yes,
this?
We should probably
100%.
get
I've been
in
to
this
like 3 of these
conversation.
sessions
Yeah.
recently. I'm like, they're
Yeah.
the best.
Yes.
So I think EQ is massive.
EQ is huge, and you can go off in so many directions
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about different traits within EQ. But I also think when I just think of the best leaders, like some of these founders we've worked with who are so impactful, they're so successful, and yet there's still such a humbleness
Humble.
about them.
Humble.
They do not
So key.
pretend to know everything. In
Yes.
fact,
Yeah.
they are so happy to lean on you
Yeah.
as the subject matter expert. Like we know right away when we're working with a leader if they have high EQ, if they're open to or
Yes.
leaning on us. Like, what do you think? What's your process?
Mhm.
Because that's why they've hired us,
Exactly.
right? So
And we know this and how good it feels because we also work with executives who yell at us. Okay.
yes, exactly.
I feel like
Exactly.
one of the things, and I think what I've realized with leaders is that there's so much of that. There's a humbleness to them, but they also know what makes them special. Like
Yes,
what
of
to the
course.
same
Yes.
point of what you're saying, but they don't
Yeah.
have to say it.
No,
But they value
Yes.
other people's sparkle.
yes,
They value the
Yeah.
people's talents in the room.
Yeah.
But they're also not afraid to be like, you know what? This is the lean. This is where we're going to kind of lean. This is
Yeah.
where the wind is kind of
Yeah.
pushing us. Let's go here
Yes,
and let's go behind it.
Yeah.
But the humbleness is so key. I mean,
Yes.
I've met so many
It's
executives,
huge.
and
yeah.
And
My
then
gosh.
the other piece of that is people want to follow you and
Yes.
people want to work for you.
Mhm.
And that is a huge part of your talent strategy,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? Like we have in the past worked for companies where that leader has a horrible reputation.
Yes.
It's hard to recruit for.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Now,
Very.
on that same side of it,
Yeah.
how are people keeping the talent? Like, what is
Mm,
keeping those leaders into position?
yeah.
Like, what are you seeing where these large companies, like even just like the Earls, the
Yeah.
Lululemons, the Spanx, the Peloton,
Mhm.
what are you seeing that they're doing to keep them in the place that they are in?
Yeah. I think a big part of it is like doing what you say you're doing. So like when I mentioned Van City, like their what they say to us, the public, is being reflected
Mhm.
at every single level of their business, like to a degree where I was like, whoa, this is like so inspiring. And so I think it's like walking the walk, because
Yeah.
as soon as you get behind closed doors, if it doesn't match up, if there's not alignment, that's like when we speak to executives who are like, hey, I need to get on your database and I'm
Mhm.
ready to make a move in the next 6 months. There's just not alignment here. That's the biggest
Mhm.
thing we hear.
Yeah.
They're saying one thing, they're not. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't feel aligned with this. I don't want to be part of this.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
There's
like,
Definitely.
there's one thing to do the work and have all the values on your website, but if you're
Yeah.
not living into them, you're not going to retain your talent.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And
Like
it's
such a
changed so
passion.
much,
Yeah.
right? Like I think about our parents' generation.
Oh, my
like,
gosh.
yours were entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
but ours who worked, you know, they were not thinking about purpose. They were
Yeah.
just
I
like,
know.
what the hell? I'm going to work here
Yeah,
for 30
exactly.
years. I'm not going to enjoy it, but
They
like
were
I'll
not
get a
thinking
pension.
about it.
But
I
it's
know.
changed dramatically in one
Yeah.
generation, right?
Oh, my
Like,
gosh.
we want, it's like purpose is like a must have. There has to be something, or alignment is
Yes.
a must have, you know?
So on that note, you know, let's talk about, you know, the next generation of this.
yeah.
Like I feel like we're going through these loops, as you're mentioning.
Yeah.
You know, your parents
Yeah.
had
Yes.
something, then we kind of went through. What are you
Yeah.
seeing for the future of recruitment and the future for people that are looking for jobs?
Yeah, that's a great question. My God, the future of
The
recruitment.
future of recruitment.
yeah.
I mean, I think there's always,
Mhm.
this is the thing about
Yeah.
the conversation around AI. There's always going to be such a human aspect
Right.
to hiring. Like, I think AI is going to
Mhm.
continue to come in and influence how we hire our
And elevate
processes.
it in some way.
Yeah, like
make it more
I'm not
efficient.
as scared of it.
Yeah.
I
No.
think it's going to continue to really support us in bringing the right person in. But there's always going to be a human element, which is what's going to keep us in business.
yeah, yeah.
Thank
And
God.
it's what I love
Yeah.
about recruiting, right? It's like we've both been doing this now for 20 years each.
Wow. I know.
We still get it wrong sometimes.
Yeah,
Like
of
you
course.
can never predict
Yeah.
how an individual is going to interview. They'll get through 8 rounds of interviews
Mm.
and then they'll start it at the company and completely do a
The wrong-
180.
yeah,
And we're
180.
all just like,
Yeah.
What?
It doesn't
How did we
happen
get that
often,
wrong?
but it
Yeah.
happens. And when I go to bed that night, I'm just like, dang, this is why I'm in this game.
Yeah.
Because you can never
Yes.
fully,
Yeah.
you can never fully like figure out a
Mhm.
human.
Yes.
No.
You just can't.
Yeah.
And also chemistry. Like I
Yes.
see that a lot
Yeah.
where they'll bring on somebody to their company
Yeah.
and they're like, on paper, this person
Mhm.
reads really well.
Yeah.
In interviews, this person
Yes.
reads really well. But it's not until they get into the day-to-day
Day to
and what's
day.
in that soil.
Yes.
Like what is in that real soil? What's in
Yes.
this deep-rooted soil that we need to kind of
Yeah.
look
Yes.
through? And even just for us, like trying to recruit and to get
Yeah.
new staff and new teams, we get it wrong. Like,
Yes,
and
of
that's
course.
why it's so important to have
Yes.
recruiters
Yes.
to kind of be able to
Yes.
have your
and
back.
so do we. And I
Yeah.
think
You
that
know?
is like freeing to say. Because like
Mhm.
Yes.
you don't want to work with a recruiting agency who says we're the experts and we've never got
Yeah.
it wrong.
Oh yeah.
That's just
That's
impossible. Yeah.
What is the future look like for 11/11? What are you guys excited about? It's 2026.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you what we're so
Not
excited
yet.
about right now. We have
Yes.
this tradition every year where at Christmas we do a Christmas party with just us and our kids. We have 4 between us,
Yeah.
and we buy them like really awesome gifts from 11/11 because we want to get them pumped up on the company, you know, like
Well, your son is going to run the world.
Exactly.
Oh my
Jack
gosh.
is earmarked to be the CEO.
So,
like,
yeah.
he
we are
knows what he's
planning
doing.
that right now, and so
Yeah.
we're pretty excited about that. But I think bigger picture, do you know, like in the last 10 years, we have started so small. We've
Mhm.
grown dramatically. We've scaled right back
Mhm.
down.
Mhm.
We've gone like halfway. Now we're pretty small and mighty again, and I think we've found a bit of a sweet spot.
Yes.
And we've also like learned how big we want to be, how, you know, like
Yes.
the right size for us.
Yes.
And it's not the stuff people are posting about. There's no private jets.
Yeah.
There's no like, we're not going to be in Gucci and stuff. Like, we're,
Yeah.
we just want to go on some great holidays every year with
We
our
need to get him
family.
sponsored. Hello, Gucci.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
We
go.
just want
Ease, flow. I mean, the
Yeah.
last 5 years in business, any
In
business, have
general.
just been
Yeah.
such
Yeah.
a wild ride.
Yes.
I could use some ease and flow.
I think there's a lot that you guys have endured in the last 20
Yeah.
years,
Yes.
10 years
Honestly.
together.
Yes.
You know, what is
Seriously.
the future sounds really just calm and also
Yes.
smooth.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you want listeners to hear about what you guys have learned, some of those really hard points. What's some
my
advice that you'd
God.
want to give them?
I just want to say it's like so much less sexy than I thought.
Less
And,
sexy.
I never thought I would be saying things like, I'm just happy. I'm actually just grateful to still be in business. Like we saw some of our competitors go completely out of business the last few years. And I think we just want to build a sustainable business that we can have for our whole lives. And that's enough, you know, what is enough, you know, and it means we get to work for ourselves. We never have to call somebody and say, can I get the 5th of December off? Like you know, that for me and my Aquarius soul is like a death worth, like it's just death by 1,000 cuts.
So I just need to be free. Both my parents are Aquarians. Woo!
So I think like, what else would you say?
Well, we just did this incredible, we're just wrapping up a 10-part blog that we've done over the course of the whole year around our biggest lessons in business from the last 10 years.
Yes.
And we've touched on many of them today, like how we launch, setting ourselves up financially, how we communicate. There's so many. There's so many.
What's your number one?
Oh my God. My number one lesson, I think, is honestly, you just got to ride the wave. Like it's going to work out. Like it's taken 10 years to like believe that in my soul. Like I can't tell you the number of mentee bees each of us have had in like complete distress over things occurring in the business. And I think I've been through enough of them now that I can like truly feel in my soul that we're going to keep the wheels on.
That's another good tip that Alicia does is she'll be like, if like the world is falling, she'll be like, I'm going to have a mentee bee on Thursday, so you have yours Monday. And I'll be like, roger that. Like, and
we'll just take turns going down.
It feels better to have a designated.
You have a little designated driver heading out. But you're 10 years of a successful business has been such a ride. Like just, you know, you're going to go through your hurdles.
100%.
But you're also going to go these massive heights that are just so special.
Yes.
So for anyone that's listening out there, learn from these two dynamic duos and really believe in your guys' selves.
Yes.
Have a partner in crime.
Yes.
And you guys are just, I'm just in, again, so awe of you guys that I think you guys are just, I think, scratching the tip of it all.
Thanks,
I feel like you're going to have
so.
more and more incredible luck your way.
Yeah.
And I thank you guys for being on the podcast. Before we go, I have a kind of a lightning round.
Okay. Yeah. I love this.
My lightning round. Okay. Round. Okay, here we go. What's one thing you can't start your day without?
Oh,
What's one thing?
Coffee.
Mine was going to be coffee.
Coffee's for closers, everybody.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. Coffee's for closers. Wife's always on me.
That.
Number two, if you weren't doing what you were doing right now, what would you be doing? Because you guys were young into the recruitment life.
Yes. Yeah. I think I would do something creative, maybe in interior design, something with houses.
I would love to be a medium. Like I'm not good at it, but that would be like a dream profession for me. Yeah.
I love that
tried
for
to
you.
connect. They don't want to
I
talk
love
to
that
me.
for both of you guys.
Yeah.
That's the best answer. Yeah.
Okay, what's your go-to hype song? Hype song.
Oh,
My God, where do we even start?
I don't want to say what's coming to mind because it's just like a song that I love right now, but it's like No Broke Boys, No.
Oh, yeah, that's so good.
It's just right
so
now.
Good.
I don't know if it's forever.
Yeah, like anything Beyonce.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
It's in us.
yeah.
Yeah.
So many good ones.
Yeah.
So many good ones. Okay, what's your guilty pleasure? Guilty pleasure.
Chocolate.
Makes you happy.
Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Any franchise.
I
but
love that.
specifically Salt Lake City is delivering.
It really is.
I need this. Oh my gosh. And okay, finish the sentence. To get on top, you have to.
Go down, I was going to say. Right? Like I wanted to say it, but I was like, ugh.
Love you.
But I mean,
for
like,
this
it,
response.
that has to.
You got to go down to get on top.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
what
going to
about
say
you?
have delusional belief in yourself.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having us. Such a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Yes.